Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Jess and this video is going to be my Buzzwordathon catch-up reading vlog. I'm going to put some more day-to-day bits in here, so we're going to have some general life vlogging in this video as well. But I did want to read all the books that I'd picked up for Buzzwordathon, even though I've missed a couple of months, because I want to get back on top of it. I did take a break and read it. I have also worked a little bit full-time shift hours, so that's also held me back. At the moment, because I'm not working full-time, I can vlog a little bit more. If you didn't know, the Buzzwordathon is something created by Books and Lala, where there is a buzzword for every month, and the first week of the month your challenge is to read as many books as possible with that theme or word in the title. You can just pick one book, it can just be that's the book you read for that month, or you can fit as many books as you want into that week or month. January I read 3 books for the word dream. In February I read 1 book and that had to be a colour in the title, and then March and April I have missed. So March was the word time, and this is the first book I picked up. I have finished this book, so this one is called Maybe This Time, and this is about a girl called Sophie. She works on all the big events for a local florist in a small town. So all these events she takes part in. She wants to be a fashion designer, so she's always designing things. This is written by Casey West. On the back it makes it out it's going to be quite a romantic book, like it's a romance. However, I wouldn't necessarily say that. There's a lot about her job in there, about her dreams for where she wants to live and her family dynamic. And then there's a big time kind of chef that comes and works in their village, and his son Andrew is the love interest, and they start off really rocky, so it's kind of a hate to love relationship, or it's hate to friends to lovers relationship. It is a good read. Can't remember how many stars I gave it, but it's on my Goodreads. I'll pop it on the screen somewhere most likely. So this is the first book I picked up with the word time in the title. Next up I read All This Time by Mickey Daltrey and Rachel Lippincott, and this book is written by the same authors that wrote 5 Feet Apart. So going into this I did know it was going to be quite sad, and the blurb on the back mentions that there is a death of a kind of main female lead, like romance lead, right at the beginning. So you start off with a couple, and this happens right at the start of the book. The girl actually goes to break up with our main character right at the start, and there's a car crash. So everything else that happens, oh my god, do you know what, there were so many points where I was trying to guess what was going to happen. The plot twists were really good. This book was really gripping. At one point everything seemed to be going too well, and it was going so smoothly. I was like, oh my god, I'm just reading like a cute little fairy tale, what a lovely book. But then you're just thrown into a whole new world and you're like, whoa, how has this just happened? Really good book, really loved it. Surprised I didn't cry. Was quite emotional, but I didn't cry. I gave this 4 stars, highly recommend it. I really liked it. Halfway through this I actually thought I wasn't going to keep this book, but I think I will. It is a really easy read. I didn't want to put it down. It was great. I'm currently reading The First Time She Drowned. This is a bit of a heavier book, and this is by Kerry Kelter. I have started and I'm only on like page 26, so not that far through this book just yet. And this is about we're following a main character called Cassie. And Cassie has been at, I think it was at 15, 16, so maybe 16, at a young age. Cassie was put into a mental home. So she was put into an asylum as a teenager by her family, and it is the mother that kind of controls what this family does. She is put in there and she believes it was her fault. When she turns 18, she can actually leave so it'd be due to her own free will she's deciding to leave AMA. So she can leave AMA, which is against medical advice. So she has signed herself out of this mental home. At the moment, in between chapters, you're kind of getting flashbacks to her being taken to the home, her first few days at the home, and then we also get her in the present about to leave this asylum or institution. And I believe we find out why she was put there at some point. At the moment, she kind of thinks the world of her mother, and she says she brings sunshine with her wherever she goes. Her dad doesn't say much. Her brother's gone off to college. She's also got a younger brother who absolutely adores her. But I am gripped by this book. This book, I couldn't get the audiobook to read along with. This one, All This Time, was a really good audiobook if you prefer audiobooks, or if you like to have one reading along. All This Time was a great audiobook that went along with that. I really enjoyed the narrator's narration for that book. This one, I couldn't get hold of it, so I am just reading this book, which is quite refreshing, but it just means it's going to be a little bit slower because I'm not the fastest reader. So those books are all time, so that will be March's kind of catch up. Then for this month, it was supposed to be space themes. So this is my sister's copy of The Martian, which is by Andy Ware. Yep. And this will be my April Buzzwordathon read. So as soon as I finish this one, I am also hoping to read The Martian in this video. I believe I will get through both of these books quite quickly. I think it'll probably be before we go on to next month's, which would be great, so I could kind of read a book in between. However, next month's word is house, so I have The House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune, and this is, oh my god, I cannot wait to get to this book. It sounds so good. I'm so excited for this book. I will wait for the Buzzwordathon to pick this up. I'm not going to read it straight after The Martian. If we finish this first, I will pick something else up in between, but I won't say what that is. We'll just see how it goes in this video. So I'm on page 26. We're going to keep going with The First Time She Drowned, and then we'll pick up The Martian afterwards, and I'll keep you updated. On Tuesday, I am getting a haircut, and I cannot wait. This is just, it's so much. I am going to start growing my hair out, I believe, but something needs to be done. I cannot wait for a haircut. Yes. It is almost 10 o'clock and I am going to bed soon just because my eyes are really hurting, so they're kind of straining at the moment. I might actually listen to an audiobook or something. Got to page 93 for The First Time She Drowned, and this book is so gripping, really good. Each chapter is a chapter from her past. At the moment we're experiencing some memories from before she was even at the hospital, so those are some chapters, and then it goes back to the present where she is now free. She has been let out and she's going straight to college, but gets off the bus a bit early and decides to go swimming in the ocean, which then leads to her almost drowning and her lungs filled with water. So she's just been really sick and had to kind of knock on somebody's door where she's coughing up blood and is driven to the hospital. So she's told she should have come in earlier and that she could have actually died. So far, it is such a good book. But so far, this is like the best out of the three for the word time. I know that might change, but 93 pages in, and I just love this book. so good, so well written. I did also just want to say I do apologise about the mess behind me, and I hope it's not too distracting, but I just had to find somewhere a bit quieter to film while it's a bit later in the day, and I didn't want background noise or to disturb anyone, so I sat down on the floor and there is a mess behind me, but it's just what we got to deal with when you're in a new house and you're moving and not everything is in its place yet. Good morning. So last night I couldn't sleep at all, even though my eyes ached, even though I felt tired, I just couldn't sleep. So instead of reading anymore, I put on an audiobook and I listened to the first 3 chapters of Black Sun by Rebecca Rowanhorse. I'll put a picture up on the screen anyway so you can see the book. This book was going to be my February pick for the BUZZWORDATHON because it had a colour in the title and I wanted to read this book. It's a fantasy based book, however it wasn't released in time and I couldn't get my hands on a copy, so I've started listening to it because it was initially my pick for the BUZZWORDATHON. So I thought I'm going to include that in this video. I was hoping to get 4 books read in this video, but I'm not sure how likely that will be. So I have started listening to Black Sun and it is a bit more morbid than I expected. Like the first chapter, there's this young boy, I think he's like 12, and his mum has like carved these like scars into his back. She's, oh my god, she's sewn his eyes closed. Oh, it's grim. But I've listened to the first 3 chapters. It's really interesting so far. I am really stuck in and it did get me to sleep a lot better. So I am going to be listening to that while also reading The First Time She Drowned. So I don't have an update for that at the moment. I've got up and I'm currently doing Sam's hair. So yeah, I have started listening to Black Sun and I thought I'd include that. It wasn't originally for the BUZZWORDATHON, even though I've kind of missed the mark. We're doing a BUZZWORDATHON catch-up video, so I might as well include that too. I pretty much failed at filming anything at all today. I have got to page 166, about halfway through now, and our main character has spent her past 2.5 years in a mental institution, and now that she's out, she has no idea how to talk to people, how to communicate with them, and I just feel so sorry for her and all the thoughts that go on in her mind, not knowing if people are being genuine or not. And this guy that she's met in college really likes her and she's just terrible at communicating with him, absolutely awful. And we're getting more of a background of stories with her mum, who is so toxic. Her mum has just taken her shopping. She took her out of college, took her shopping, and because she's bought her all these clothes, Casey is willing to lie for her mum now that she knows her mum is having an affair, which she's told her roommate, who disapproves. So I hope her mum gets what's coming to her. I hope she really does. Like, she is such an evil
woman.
What she said. I absolutely love this book, although I am really sad for the main character. I don't know how much reading I'll get done tomorrow, but I am hoping to do a bit more vlogging tomorrow. Me and Sam are going back to Bristol for the day, and Sam has to work in the evening, so it's going to be madness. I am getting my hair cut at last. Look at this. I mean, I like that it's growing, but it's also, this just isn't what I want. So I'm going to try and do a bit more vlogging tomorrow. I will get some of this read in the evening. I just won't have that much of an update before then.
This is Jess's vlog. We're in Bristol.
Oh god, that was a terrible angle for me.
You sure?
Yes, I saw it. I don't need to see it again. I'm cutting that out.
This is going to be in the final cut.
No, it's not.
This whole clip.
Nope.
100%.
100%.
Still 100. maths. We're in Bristol right now. We've just been vaccinated against the coronavirus for the second time, so we're invincible now. I just ate a cookie.
Oh, are they all melted and gross?
Here.
Click! Ah! So look at this haircut. Who is she? Oh my god! Oh my god! Had my haircut. Feeling fresh. Do we love it?
She looks excellent.
Thank you so much. We're about to drive back to our lovely home in Wales.
Anything else? Take this bit of sellotape off me.
Yeah, we've got sellotape on our arms. You can't see mine because it's under the jumpy.
So it's got a bit of blood on it.
Oh.
You can actually see where he stabbed me this time.
Can
He obviously stabbed me hard.
Yeah, I don't think he liked you. He was like, fucking get her.
Like, you little bitch.
Yeah. No, sorry.
No, even 50 pence, even 50 pence.
I haven't got any.
No, 50 pence, love.
No, sorry. We're not sorry though. We're actually not sorry. We're not sorry. And we're not even lying. I think I got 1 penny in my purse. Should I give that to him?
No.
He might have spat at me through the window. Was he in the camera? Was he in the show? I'm gonna have to censor his face.
Why?
Cause
He's got access to the internet, has he?
McDonald's Wi-Fi's free. He's clearly going to McDonald's.
He probably hasn't even got a phone with internet. It's like a Nokia.
Of course he has.
No, he's got a druggy Nokia.
He's a drug dealer. He's got many
Yeah,
phones.
Nokia.
Censor his face.
For God's sake, the hobos around here.
It's a good job we're going back to like the civilized society.
Is it civilised? I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, Welsh people are lovely. You're through, what are you doing?
Oh my god.
Clear path right through to the exit.
This isn't how you drive around a car park.
Yes, it is. It is in Bristol. Keep it going.
Alright, there's a pole in the way, you know.
Well, you could have driven like the other way around the pole.
You could have driven.
Oh, blah, 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 I'm Jess.
Are we heading like back to Sainsbury's Way?
Yeah. Onto Coronation Road. Wait, no.
What? This?
Yeah, that way.
Okay.
I think. Yeah.
Do we know where we're
yeah,
going?
Yeah. Yeah, this is the way.
This is the way.
My brain had to do a little calculation. It actually hurt. Got a headache now.
This
No,
is the way.
To Amarillo.
Every night I've been hung in my pillow.
Dreaming dreams of Amarillo.
Where?
And sweet Maria waits for me. You took too long.
Well, I was going to sing about our dog's names instead.
Show me the way to Amarillo. I've been weeping like a willow.
I feel really chocolatey in the face now. The day Sam and I got our second dose of the vaccine to the coronavirus, and yesterday I felt like death. I was just really ill with it. I felt sick again. I was hot, my head hurt. I slept through most of the morning, well, the whole morning. Most of the day I was in my pajamas. I just felt really, really sick. So today I am feeling better. However, I am dealing with some not very nice things today. I've had my first phone call. My second phone call will happen in a little bit. And it's dealing with like court stuff and it sucks. Anyway, last night I actually stayed up until I finished the first time she drowned. And it was so beautiful, so powerful, but it was very deep. Now, a girl kind of coming out from a mental home is the main story, and her mother being so manipulative. It's just, it amazes me because I know things like this happen in real life, which is so scary and so sad, but it's how someone can just like brainwash people, and it's how her mother can kind of make her feel so inadequate or change her opinions on things. It's just crazy to me and so sad. I did give this 4 stars. It was just shy of 5 star for me, and the ending did bore me slightly. I think the intrigue kind of fell away when it started to get a bit calmer, and I think that the powerfulness of the book could have stayed there right up until the very end. It did end on a high. It does imply that she got back with the boy that she likes, but Jess doesn't like implying. I like it to actually happen, physically happen. I wanted her to be with him. Hello, Roxy. Welcome. So it was more of an implying, which is fine, except for me. I wanted it to be stated that they were back together. Her mum didn't actually get what she deserved, in my opinion. I feel like her mum deserved a worse off ending. Now, I am going to mention 2 really big spoilers that happen, so if you're interested in this book and don't want to hear it, then I suggest you skip until I'm no longer holding this book in the next clip, since I've already stated my rating for it. Now, her best friend from the mental home institution actually commits suicide, and it shocked me. I know there was mention of suicide throughout this book, and then it actually happened and I was devastated. I didn't quite cry at this, and suicide is usually quite a big trigger for me. I find it really hard to deal with, even in fiction. I feel so heartbroken. It actually tears me up inside when I read about it. The other thing that happened is, as a young girl, she was actually molested by her aunt. And when she tells her mother chooses to ignore it because the aunt was her mother's favourite person. So it is just a really shocking read, really good, but it was a shocker. Really shocking. I think if the ending would stayed with a bit more of a powerful message, I might have carried on and rated it 5 stars. But it's a 4 star, which is still a really good rating, and I really enjoyed this read. It was deep though, way deeper than I originally thought, and I mean, a mental home is quite a deep topic anyway. So next up, I've picked up The Martian by Andy Weir, and I am hardly anyway through. I'm on page 16, so we've just kind of got stuck in. I am listening to the audiobook along with this, which is narrated by Will Wheaton, and it's great. I'm loving it. So I'm going to keep you updated with how I feel about this book. If you don't know, I mean, this is the movie cover for the book. It is about a man that has been abandoned on Mars, so he's kind of stuck there. All of the kind of crewmates that went with him kind of left and thought him dead, so it is about him trying to survive and also try to communicate with the crew or Earth to let people know that he is still alive. He is sassy, he is fun to read about. I love how this is kind of laid out with his log entries, and also Will Wheaton's voice for this character is absolutely perfect. I am really enjoying it, and this book has been talked about so highly of many people. I have been looking forward to this read. I do want to know how Andy Weir writes about like space and Mars so well. I was really interested, but this book has nothing about Andy Weir in it, so I will probably look that up as well. I have also been listening to Black Sun, and I thought I would be enjoying it more than I am. I've considered DNFing it, but I'm not sure. I don't know what's going to happen with that book, but I just thought I'd be liking it more than I am. And I think for fantasy books, I don't know, there's something about how morbid they can be that doesn't sit right with me. Like, one of the main characters doesn't have a pinky finger, and she kind of feels this part like now and then. One of them had his eyes sewn shut, and they actually sealed shut. So, and I mean, he was 12 when that happened. And that just, it makes my stomach turn. I don't deal well with things like this. So I don't know. It's just not, I'm just not enjoying it as much as I thought I would be. I do know a spoiler about that book, and that was what was carrying me through it, because a fish person, either a siren or a mermaid, I was here for. Tony, stop it. Anyway, and you've got like priest, priestesses, you've got all sorts of things in this fantasy world, which I thought I'd be more drawn into, which I'm not. I do apologise if through this clip you can hear licky noises. Don't laugh, Sam, because Donnie is next to me, like gumming the air. Which Sam finds really funny. I will check in with another update on The Martian when I have one. We may go for a bit of a longer walk today, might we, Donatello? So I might film some of our walk, but I probably won't because I keep forgetting that I'm filming. I look really puffy today. Why are you laughing? It is so nice walking around outside in the sunshine and not in a city, no one's around. Oh, it's just so good to get outside as well, get more vitamin D. So I'm about 30 pages in to The Martian. I'm going to continue to listen to it on this walk. So the start of this is he's already been abandoned on Mars, and he is in the process of trying to make water. And wow, how scientific this book is. Just wow. Like, I am so impressed, but also so blown away. It's crazy to me how much needs to go into sending someone to space. And I kind of already knew it, but it's just when you actually listen to the science and the detail and how much these people need to know, it's just incredible. It's actually so fascinating, and everything this guy is doing is just amazing. So I'm really enjoying this book so far. Yesterday I hardly did any reading apart from last night finishing The First Time She Drowned, as I said before. So I was originally watching The Bold Type on Netflix. If you haven't watched it, I highly recommend. I binged it, and do you know what? My favourite was probably Sutton and Cat, but I just was so disappointed with how Sutton's story ended in season 4. So gutted. And yesterday I didn't really have much to watch, so I was watching Gabby's reading vlog, and no, it was her monthly vlog, and in her vlog she mentioned watching the finale of Schitt's Creek, and I knew kind of it. I'd seen it on Netflix, but I never thought to watch it. And she actually started it again because she enjoyed it so much. And then I thought, you know what, I need something else to watch. I finished The Bold Type and I loved it. The Bold Type really inspired me, actually. It actually really made me want to work somewhere. I really enjoyed it, made me want to create again. It really pushed me to want to do things. And then I thought, do you know what, I'm going to start watching Schitt's Creek. And the first episode I was like, are you sure this is what you've been watching? So I had to double check, and it is what she's been watching, and I absolutely love it. It's so funny. I'm in love with David. I feel like I'm almost as much of a flower as he is. I love that he's pansexual. I love that both shows had really strong, bold characters, and there are more shows kind of involving the LGBTQ plus community, and I just love it. It's really, really good. But I love David. I'm not a big fan of his mum. Her character really bugs me, and I don't agree with pretty much any decision she makes. I'm just not a fan of her at all. So the show is basically like a sitcom, and this well-off family is like a couple with the son and daughter have lost everything. So they've grown up, they've had all of this money, mansion, loads of bedrooms, and they've grown up with all of this money, and it's been taken away from them. The only thing kind of holding this family together, or the only thing that they actually have possession of in the end, is a tiny little town called Schitt's Creek. And they own this town, which the father Johnny bought as a joke for his son David, just because he could, and that was the only thing they were left with. So they're living in a motel in this town, and it's absolutely hilarious. I'm really enjoying it. Sometimes it helps just to chat, just to get it out there, to unload how I'm feeling. But first we will talk about The Martian, because I am on page 114, so we have read quite a bit, and it actually surprised me how early on NASA find out that he's still alive. He doesn't know that NASA is aware that he's alive, but there are images that they capture, and they find proof that he is still alive after telling the whole world and his family that he is dead. At this point, his crew still doesn't know that he's alive. He's on a mission to try and kind of not just stay alive, but to try and communicate with NASA to let them know that he is alive. However, back on Earth, NASA have now found out that he's alive, and they're trying to come up with a plan to get him back from Mars. So we have a lot going on. It is a great book. I love the narration by Will Wheaton on the audiobook as well, and yeah, I am enjoying this. I thought I'd be enjoying it more than I am. It is a good book and it is interesting. It's just not the kind of escapism I want at the moment. I am considering picking up Star Wars The Phantom Menace, written by Terry Brooks afterwards. We've got Black Sun, The First Time She Drowned, The Martian, and then The Phantom Menace. So that'll be our 4 books for this video. Fingers crossed that goes to plan. So cute! Look, we found a wild moron. The ball. Hello. Isn't he cute? No. Roxy, come here. This morning I finished The Martian by Andy Weir, or Weir? Andy Weir. I really struggle to rate this book because it is a masterpiece. It's fantastic. I think I would have been more on the edge of my seat, like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen if I hadn't seen the movie first. I think this is a book you should definitely read before watching the movie. It does change the experience slightly because you know how it's going to end. And it pretty much did end the same as in the movie, so there wasn't many differences in that aspect. However, the dialogue for our main character was amazing. There was so much science in this book, it was incredible. I really struggle how to rate it because when I put it in the cool pile spreadsheet, it comes out 4-star, but this is a masterpiece, yet there were times where I didn't enjoy it as much. So at one point I thought maybe it's a 3-star, maybe it's a 4-star, maybe it's a 5-star. I do think 4-star kind of feels like it sits in the middle of how I'm feeling, because I do think this is a fantastic book. It is incredible. It's just not kind of hit me as much as I thought it would. I thought I would like this a lot more than I did, which is a little bit disappointing, but it's still a fantastic book. For now, I've hit pause on Black Sun. I will probably continue with that book, but not for this video, because I am going to move on to reading Girl A by Abigail Dean. And I didn't know what to pick up next, and I was going to read Star Wars, but I just really want to feel like really sucked in by a book again. And this was on top of my desk, and I just picked it up and flipped to the first page and I was sucked in straight away. So I am going to pick this up next. This isn't going to be part of this video though, as I'm going to end this video. I don't know what I'm going to film next or when it's going to be. At the moment, my life is still all over the place. There is still so much going on, yet almost nothing at the same time. I finished watching Schitt's Creek this morning as well, and yes, I sobbed. It was so good. I'm so happy with how it ended. It was absolutely amazing. I loved all 6 seasons, and I am going to start them again. As soon as it finished, me and my sister Sam watched the kind of behind the scenes of the final season as well, and that was 44 minutes, and it's definitely worth a watch if you haven't seen that as well. The whole show was absolutely brilliant, and I'm definitely going to be rewatching it. I do feel like I haven't paid that much attention to this video, or as much attention as I would have liked. I would have liked to give them more updates while reading and things like that, but I just wasn't feeling it. I hope this video is good as a whole, and I hope you enjoyed it. We managed to finish 2 books instead of 4, but you know, I was aiming for more. Yeah, Black Sun isn't what I was hoping, yet at the same time, again, it's good. I think at the moment I'm just not in the place for the books I'm trying to read, like Star Wars, Black Sun, maybe even The Martian. I'm just not in that headspace for the to get the full like enjoyment out of these books. So I'm going to go for something else that sucks me in, and I picked this up and already I cannot wait to read more. So this will be my next read. I might do some more like day type of vlogging for my next video, but I am not sure yet. I hope you enjoyed. Have a super duper good one, and I will see you in my next video.